I know a couple of months ago it was like 6 or 7. So I would assume it's probably like 9 or 10.
Over $7 million, this thing is sold.
Easily. Yeah.
You remember that guy on TV, like, set it and forget it.
I'll turn put the window up, I'll set it, and forget it. That's it. Here.
The Jordan Duron Podcast.
Get stimulated.
Does coffee stimulate you?
For me, I think it's by habit, honestly.
How long you been drinking coffee for?
Honestly, I started drinking coffee 18 years old when I went to college. Whenever I met Kimberly, I met her in Mobile, and I actually did not drink any caffeine. I didn't drink much alcohol at all, and she got me into drinking. Just I would get those frappuccinos from like the Edgewater Mall. You know, that coffee stand in front of Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
That's the only type of coffee I would drink. It had to be like ice cream, whipped cream, full of, you know, the syrup. And somehow she just got me to start drinking black coffee because that's a cheap way to get a bump up of caffeine, you know, because
if you get a good brand, where you at on coffee? Who's your brand?
Well, I'm spoiled now. Have you heard of you've heard of Nespresso?
Yeah.
So we have an Nespresso at our house, and it makes like gourmet coffee. Like the black coffee it makes, it has like a foam over it. Like it tastes like coffee you got.
How much that machine cost you, Ryan?
Believe it or not, it was like $120. And that, I mean, have you seen prices of other coffee machines?
We do. Me and Emily do French press.
The French press actually is the most authentic way to drink coffee.
You're right. It is, Ryan.
I mean, they say the beans soaking in that boiling hot water, it really does bring out, the volume of the beans and all the benefits.
Yeah.
So
Emily started doing it, and we got together. Then I just copied her, fell in love with it, and now it's game time. Honestly, I really don't know. My go-to is Community. It is a signature dark roast. Extra scoop. This right here is Folgers.
Folgers.
And I did 2 scoops for Folgers. Extra scoops.
It's so crazy because, like, if I were to go, I had a Keurig at one point. If I were to go to the grocery store, I wouldn't even touch Community or even like Folgers pods. But since you did a French press, and like to me, it tastes so much better when you're doing it in a French press. So that just shows you. When you're doing it,
it's French press.
Oh yeah, the original way is probably the best way to do it.
You need to get one of them electric kennels. Kennel, was that a heat up the water? Is it a kennel? That's not a kennel, a dog kennel. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What is it called? What is that thing called that you heat up water on the oven?
Like the kettle?
Kettle.
Yeah.
It's a kettle, not a kennel.
We have a kettle, and so every night I make this like sleep concoction, and it's a magnesium supplement that I take. It's called Calm, and every night my wife makes fun of me. You can hear the kettle going off at like 9:30 at night because it has to be boiling hot, and you throw the powder in there and it like fizzes up. But that type of magnesium, it does.
How much magnesium do you take?
Probably more than what's recommended. I probably take like 900 milligrams.
I do 450,
which is actually like the recommended amount. But my thing is though, like me. They even say ingesting a lot of stimulants, working out, a lot of stress can pull magnesium out. So my analogy is sometimes the more the better. And I've taken the 200-300 milligrams, but like my sweet spot is like 900 to in the higher level.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Ryan DeoCampo. I manage and help operate the franchise GNCs down here on the coast. We have one in D'Iberville, Mississippi, Slidell, Louisiana, and then there's one in Pascagoula. I've worked with for Shad and Catherine Urcantalo. I'm sure a lot of people down here know them from like Mardi Gras, the community.
Yeah.
They've been in business for, I think, 27, 28 years. I've worked for them for almost 14 years. So sophomore year of college, when I went to school at Spring Hill College in Mobile, I needed a summertime job, and I go in there, and the manager at the time, he's like, "Hey man, come in on this day, bring your resume." It's like, we actually are looking for part-time. And, keep in mind, I'm 18 at the time, broke, nothing. Like I was in the
student
negatives.
loan debt.
Student loan debt. My father passed away when I was 17, and my mom, she's a hairstylist. So, he worked at Northrop Grumman at the time. He was a forklift driver.
Yeah.
He worked part-time as a butcher. Like, at one point, he worked 3 jobs. Like, he just worked to death. And he did it, honestly, to kind of give my sisters and I, he sent us to private school, Mercy Cross, and then I went to Mercy Cross, St. Patrick.
Yeah.
But, dude, when I went to college, my mom, it was just so funny because she dropped me off and she gave me like $20 bill. It was like, okay, son, like, see you later. And while all these other people who are going to, and I went to a private college too. So like these parents that dropped them off, they look like they went to Ole Miss,
Yeah.
Vineyard Vines.
They got their own credit card.
Yeah. Like one of the girls had station wagon, is that a station wagon? G-Wagon.
G-Wagon.
So I'm over here broke, and all I remember is that at the end of every semester, I would go to the financial department, the financial advisor, and try to renew my FAFSA. And I built myself into so much debt at the time. I just didn't know what I was doing. I just figured,
You had to survive. Your mom gave you $20.
Yeah.
So you started working in Mobile.
I started working for Shad in D'Iberville during the summer.
Summer.
But I still lived in Mobile during school. So get this, every Friday evening after school in Mobile, I would drive to D'Iberville. So, that's a 55-minute drive.
Yeah.
If I'm speeding, it's 45. And then I'd work Friday night, all day Saturday, and then all day Sunday. And then when Sunday closed at 6 o'clock, I locked the door, had all my bags packed up, and then head back to Mobile. I did that for 4 years straight. Like and you could ask the guys I even roomed with in college. Everyone always made fun of me because I never partied. Like I never did anything.
You couldn't afford it.
I literally couldn't afford it. And then I remember,
look at your friends now. They're probably not even doing nothing with their life anymore, Ryan. Look at you. You're succeeding.
Well, it's funny.
Do you want to call out any of your friends?
No, like I love them all. I honestly, the roommates that I had, the time that I was there on campus during the week, they were fun.
Yeah.
They were a blast. But yeah, it's so funny because my junior year, I was starting to make actually some good money. Like I compiled up, saved up money, and I was buying I remember going to Fresh Market in Mobile, buying like organic chicken, and I'd go to Sam's Club too and buy like I felt bougie buying like Chobani Greek yogurt by the case, and while all of my roommates were like broke, they were like eating whatever they could.
Ramen
eat.
noodles for sure.
Yeah, ramen noodle or
is it ramen or ramen?
Ramen, whatever.
Okay.
Hell, they would
flavor.
pick up my food, and it's just so funny. That was my junior year, and my senior year, same thing. They're all broke, and here I am. I grinded it out for a lot of years, like a lot. And then I moved back home after I graduated, and then when I moved back home, I'm 21, 22 at the time. I graduated, got my marketing degree at Spring Hill. Kimberly's a little older than me, my wife, and I move in with her. We have an apartment together at Cedar Lake. Half a year goes by, and Shad is like, I want to open up another store, but it's going to be in Louisiana. And I'm just like, fresh out of college, I have all these aspirations.
Yeah, Shad, I'll do whatever, Shad.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you have these visions in your
You're
head.
excited.
You're young. You
could be a manager. Like you got goals of just being a manager.
Right. I didn't have any kids at the time.
Yeah, shit.
And I'm like, I can make something of myself. And so here I am, 22. Yeah, 22. Literally pack up my U-Haul and then go. We moved to Mandeville, Louisiana, which is an hour and a half away. And we didn't know anybody there. But we chose Mandeville because we liked the area. It was a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a sophisticated town, more retired community. And it was calm. And to me, it was affordable too. Well, we moved there, but we opened up the store in Slidell, Louisiana. That was a 20-minute drive for us. If anyone knows where Slidell is, it's right outside of not the border of Mississippi going to Louisiana.
And for people that listen too, is it's the place where you get your daiquiris.
Basically.
Slidell daiquiris lottery tickets.
Yeah, you get.
How many times I used to do that shit? Did you ever do that?
people would go over the state line just to go to get lottery tickets.
No, that was me.
That was you?
Yeah,
Okay.
me and my friends, we'd go over there. We get a bunch of lotto tickets and daiquiris.
Their daiquiris are good too.
Well, I mean, we'd go get them, and then we'd make a decision. Should we just keep going to New Orleans, or should it drive back to the coast?
I mean, they got some serious. There was one lady who owned all those daiquiri shops between like Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, and I think she owns some of the ones in Metairie. She had that place on Downpack.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think she ended up franchising them.
Did you? So how long were you in Slidell for?
I was there for, let's see, we lived out there for about 2.5, 3 years. But so get this, that store, like there was nothing there. It was a clean slate. And keep in mind, I'm 22, maybe 23, still fresh out of college. Like that's young if you really think about it. I don't know anybody. I move out to Louisiana with Kimberly, and we ended up getting married. But this GNC, I had to literally build it from, like, there was not a sign, no sticker prices, no product in it at all.
Did you have a counter?
They had a counter, but one day they sent the truck drivers with 700 boxes, and they said, we're literally going to conveyor belt everything in, and it's up to y'all to get everything up. And I remember like it was yesterday. It was me, Kimberly, because she, wanted to make some extra money. She helped us part-time. Shad showed up, and then our part-timer. These guys rolled in 700 boxes, and it took us like half a week to put every single item up. And that's how we built the store. And before those,
did you, when that was going through your head, did you think about, this shit ain't for me?
No. It's so crazy. I used to work at a gas station off Three Rivers Road when I was like 14 years old. And my dad, he always taught me, he goes, if you want nice things, you better go earn your own cash. So
You better work for it.
He found one of his buddies, Asian owned gas station, pay me on the table.
Oh, hell yeah. Are they still in business?
I think so, Mr. Frankie. Dude, sketchy gas station. My dad would drop me off like during the week, during the summer at 3:00. I'd work till 10, like Monday through Friday. I didn't have anything to do. I could care less. I was making good cash, but I had to like fill the fridge, do everything, like face the store.
So you had a little bit of the stock in the shelf when you got in the GNC.
Yeah, I had that. Like that's, and to this day, you could ask my employees. I don't sit down. You saw me earlier.
Yeah.
I'm standing up. I'm obsessed with like facing product. Like it's like a weird habit.
Don't fucking tell everybody on the show this. We're gonna go in there and just fuck everything up now, Ryan.
The fridge, if you ever go there, usually everything's fully packed to the rim. Like there's no like space. Because when if a customer comes in and grabs a energy can, I'll literally go find it from on the shelf and like put the.
So you do all the inventory for all the stores, or just this store?
I've been back into D'Iberville. I haven't made like. So here's the thing. Back to where I was living in Louisiana.
Yeah.
When we found out we had our first one, Audrey, I still worked mainly at that store. Like I was mainly in Slidell. Shad and Jimmy and all the employees stayed back here because, Shad lives out here. So years go by, and then, Kimberly and I, we found out we're having our second one. And I said,
how'd you find that out?
Oh, I mean, she was just like, hey, I'm nauseous, pregnancy.
I know, but how was it scary? What was your thoughts going through your head right now? Like, like when I found out that Emily was having Oliver, I was sitting in the bathtub. I was listening to The Revivalist. And
she's just like,
no, she just came. We were dating. We only dated for a couple weeks. So she came in. Her face looked like fucking, it looked terrified.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm sitting in my jacuzzi tub because I had a house in Hickory Hills, and I had the music blaring, and I'm in a hot jacuzzi tub. I'm serious. Like I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out downtown. She's living in Hattiesburg. She drops me with a pregnancy test. She's in a Ziploc bag and a dad book, and put it on my bed. And she's like, she didn't even say anything. She looked scared, and then I was like, okay, well I'll get out of the tub. Something's up. You have that feeling. I go in there and I get hit with that shit. And that's how I found out. So did you same thing? Were you like sitting there?
Honestly, I guess it was kind of planned. Even at such a, Kimberly's a little older than me.
Like how old? How much older? Like
she's like 4 years older.
Okay, ain't bad.
No,
I'm 37.
I'm 33.
Okay.
And you know this. I have a newborn at home. We have 3 kids.
You just had a baby.
Yeah, we just had a baby. He's 1 month old. He's a little chubby, not almost 9, 10 pounds.
Sleeping good?
Shockingly, yes. He eats a lot. But you know how some Asian families are. They're like the family dynamics is to have a lot of kids. Like I'm actually kind of like that. It's a weird. And so
are you gonna try? How many kids you want to have?
If you would have asked me 3 to 4 months ago if I wanted more kids, I would have said absolutely not. Like I would have been fine with just my 2 kids. But after having Hayden, it's just like after holding him and like especially where I am with my career and how much more mature I am or we are, I wouldn't mind if we had one more. And I believe that's how my wife feels too. She's like, I wouldn't even mind if we had one more child.
Does Kimberly work or no?
So right now she's on maternity leave, but she owns her own microblading company. So she like does the tattoo of your eyebrows, the shaping.
God, she needs to help a lot of girls down here.
And I'm not saying
I'm
this.
not saying it in a bad way, but
Shad,
today I went to Target and seen one.
Shad was, and this is hilarious. He's like, I didn't realize how much that made a huge difference is like having a good set of eyebrows can make on a female. He goes, no, not to be rude, because we saw one lady that came in and it was like butchered, and I was like, but then
have you seen the ones that the ones that I see with the color pencil, like they get rough. But the microblading's kind of cool. So she's good at it.
Really good, and
she does lipstick too, huh?
Her family comes from a hair salon, like
Mylin. Yeah. Shout out Mylins.
And then
what's the haircut still going for now?
I think it was $12, $15.
Everybody knows Lemoyne. Mylins, dude. Mylins open, and I shit you not, Ryan. When Mylins open, it was like a theme park.
And you know what's crazy is
we all had the haircut.
Yeah, do you have a fade?
We had the Mylin fade. Everybody got the same fade. I went in there one time. Nancy was cutting my hair. Nancy cut my hair. She was on the phone. I said, can I just get a little light taken off? Nancy just gave me the same haircut.
It's the same haircut.
Hey, Nancy.
And they say, you sit down. And then it's like literally you don't tell them what, and then it's, and the haircut's like 5 minutes.
So she's in that same facility?
She's at her other sister, Mary.
Okay.
So Mary used to work.
Mary's got her own place now?
It's actually right across from Oak Park, right there near the cottages in Ocean Springs.
Oh, really?
Off of Government Street. So it's, where the old record vinyl studio used to be? Her building, her salon is right there. So Kimberly's been working out of there for the past...
She probably got good clientele.
Really good clientele. And she'll have people drive from like Georgia, Louisiana. Kimberly's got strong pull. So we've been very grateful. She's been on maternity leave for like 6 weeks so far. She's got another 3 to 4 more weeks. She kind of booked all her clients out to where.
So let's go. You hit Slidell. So how many years were you in Slidell?
Not even, but like I'd say 3 or 4 years.
So you learned how to operate a storefront.
Yeah, all by myself.
You move over here to D'Iberville, because this is kind of want to get into fascinating. You moved to D'Iberville. You've been the manager of all the locations now,
right?
And you do make sure the
store orders, apparel, the whole works.
You make sure that Catherine and Shag are okay, that they can live.
And here's the thing: is I love.
Oh, they're good people.
They're the most unconventional like couple, but that's what makes them. But they're like family to me, because they have seen me grown and mature as this young college student to where I am today. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without obviously like my family and my wife, but without like Catherine and Shad, because people don't know this. I would have not worked for GNC if it would have not been for Catherine. So Catherine's the one who hired me. They were in desperate need of employees, and Shad was like stressed to the max, probably like smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. Like it was bad.
Oh, hell yeah, Shad.
Drinking Michelob Ultras.
Oh shit, Shad.
And he was like skinny, like you would think he was like sick. And I remember him pulling me into the back room of the D'Iberville store before I got hired. He's like, I don't think we have room for you. And I'm like, I'm going to work your weekends, and your wife says that you need a weekend guy. He goes, yeah, but you go to school in Mobile, and that'll never happen. I'm like, dude, I could drive back. Like, I have an economical, like,
watch me, Shad.
He's like, well, we'll try you out. And like, he did not. But Catherine, she's like, you just give him a chance, like please.
Yeah.
And like that's all she wrote. So, you know, if it wouldn't have been for Miss Catherine, I wouldn't have a job with GNC. But Shad, so you know, my father passed away when I was 17. Shad Lilly was like, you know, kind of a father figure to me. He kind of helped me. He kind of groomed me on how to work really hard. Like my dad already taught me at a young age how to work real hard. Like he was hard on me, but it taught me and my sisters a lot of structure. And then having Shad come up, and if he listens to this, he'll probably get emotional. He knows this too. I mean, he literally rode me hard, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
Like
that's pretty cool.
That literally, I wouldn't have.
I mean, Shad's a monster. I mean, Shad wouldn't have GNC, which I mean,
and
he's worth it. He does work hard.
And people don't know this. Our stores on the coast, like when they call out awards, when we go to the award ceremony at our conventions, we're going up on stage and we're getting called with stores like for San Francisco and Miami. We're at D'Arville, Mississippi. We're like, you know, no man's land. And then we're getting called up to the stage with people who own stores in like
Big cities,
New York.
We all get a lot of like customer referrals. They come back.
That, and we a lot of our people that work for us, we walk the walk too. You know, we all work out. We try to work out. We try to do everything we preach to. So
let's get into the GN. So, you know, you got your GNC background. You watch a lot of products. You've been in the industry a long time. What's the expected life shelf of like a product, like a trend? Like, you know, like let's compare like a supplement to Chevron print. Okay. Like it comes out. What is the shelf life of that product? You know, where they have that 187, they had a couple of different.
They had 180 back in the day.
They have a couple of different brands. Like how long they last for? They last 6 months? They last 3 years?
Well, it really depends because there's a brand out there. I'm sure you heard of this drink C4.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as they're made by Cellucor. They're a very respectful brand. They've been out since I started working for GNC, and they're still a widely known brand. And if anything, they've evolved with the industry. Like they continue to evolve.
Are they a publicly traded company?
I know they had an acquisition with Dr. Pepper,
okay.
and Keurig bought a percentage of their company. And that helped with their distribution with their beverages, which, you know, Dr. Pepper's everywhere. So imagine if you see Dr. Pepper, you're probably going to find a C4 drink in the same grocery store or gas station.
That's pretty cool.
And that's what happened with Celsius, the other energy drink. Celsius is like on a sales data chart. They're like right under, you know, you have Monster, Red Bull up top, Rockstar. Then you got Celsius flirting on the bottom with Alani Nu.
Well, you got but like C4, but like I know that I've been in the last 5 years, there's been 25, 30 different brands, 100 brands.
Oh, they come, they're cyclical.
Now how do y'all do you have to buy the product up front or do y'all do shelf space? How does that company work? How does GNC operate?
It's usually shelf space.
Rented shelf space.
Right. So, you know, Ghost, for example, everyone knows them by their collaborations with like the Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. They have Chips Ahoy. When they first started, I actually didn't think they were going to make it. I was friends with the owner, Dan Lorenco. He used to work for Cellucor, C4, and left the company.
Start his own.
Yeah, he had a 6-month do not compete, and then he started Ghost with a buddy of his. And they had 4 SKUs. 2 of them were pre-workout. 2 of them were, it's like an amino acid hydration drink, and it was just fruit punch and blue raz. So 4 SKUs. They literally made it to the bottom right of our shelf, which is not good. That's where you don't want to go if you're in a probably grocery store or even a GNC. Yeah. That means you're on your way out. And they had this resurgence when they did a collaboration with Warheads, and then they did Red Berry, and then
I wonder how that shit works. I mean, do they have to pay like a percentage of each sale?
Yeah, it's
like a penny on a dollar.
Yep, pretty much. They kind of like a royalty. So to them, of course, that's a money grab for the candies.
Is there a retro for you and Shad? Like, since y'all have this space shelf, like, let's say, you know, Ghost comes in here and they, you know, allocate, let's say, 4 cases to y'all. If y'all sell all the cases at a certain amount, like in the dealerships, like a car lot, car lots, car lots, they're the same thing. This is not a bad business model to have like rented shell space. If you load a car lot, like a new car, they don't own the cars. Chevrolet owns the cars, and then after X date, they have to start paying a like a lease payment.
Well, so Shad buys the product at wholesale from GNC.
Okay.
And then we stock it. It's really up to us to move it.
Okay, so no, y'all own the product, so
Right.
it's a totally different thing then.
But the thing is now when these supplement companies approach GNC to help bring the products into just GNCs in general,
Yeah.
they are fighting for shelf space.
So y'all get some product.
Right. And you got to think we're just the franchise side. There's corporate stores too. There's probably 1,300 like corporate locations. There's only like 700 plus franchise locations.
Yeah,
So
when you think GNC, like for me, when you think GNC, you think Shaz GNC.
right down here.
Yeah,
but,
I mean that's massive to have that kind of name with the brand though.
mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy to say, like, but it's Shad's and the same thing, and you started developing that too. But Shad's GNC, y'all got to be one of them top franchisees. That's what you're saying. They win all the awards. Y'all got to be.
And we're very grateful and humble.
What's y'all's LLC? What do y'all call the company?
Well, I know when we pay the bills, it's D'Arville Nutrition Center. It's personal.
When y'all get y'all's awards though, what's it called?
Oh no, it's just GNC, and then we have these. They call it KKs, which is like your location number. We're like D'Arville is 7783. Like they call you by your
number.
Yeah, we're your number. But I mean, yeah, it's great. Like we're very grateful, even though this past year, it has been a rough year for a lot of businesses. Like we still, in my opinion, we did really good compared to.
Well, y'all are in a good market where, especially January, but you're in a good market where people are always trying to find a something to help them.
Yeah,
and GNC is a place where you can find help. I mean, look, if you're a bourbon drinker, they can set you up with some good liver pills. They'll change your life.
And that's the thing is, people come into GNC because they either have an ailment or they're tired or they're just trying to become a better version of themselves.
Yeah.
I know with me, I started taking supplements, and this is the backstory on why I started working out is, I did because it was vanity. I was starting to feel good about myself. I grew up chubby with a bunch of acne, got made fun of a lot, and then I started working out. And then I remember girls in like middle school were like, Ryan, like you're filling out that shirt. And then, puberty hit. I started taking care of myself more. And then I started getting the supplements at the time, protein at the time, creatine was popular. And I was like, damn, I'm starting to feel good about myself.
What was your weight back then?
Dude, I was kind of husky. Like I was, right now I'm 170, but back then I was probably like a 190, 200, like not in good health. I was young. I didn't know anything. We'd go eat at the casinos all the time with my buddy's mom because we had comps. Yeah,
your mom, she probably played a lot of Baccarat.
It was my friend's mom, and she like won one of the jackpots at Boomtown. So, we go to Boomtown all the time. They have the arcade. Yeah. Remember the arcade?
Yeah.
She'd drop us off the arcade, and that's we're middle school. She'd hand us each $50. I'm like middle school.
I used to own people in the Initial D there.
Well,
the car game.
We would go to that little diner spot right there when you walk in.
Yeah.
And we would get these wet baby back ribs with steak fries and root beer. I grew up eating that. And I ate that so much. Like, I'm kind of like, I have PTSD from ribs now, from eating so much ribs. Like,
you won't do it anymore. It's got to be rare.
Dude, it's just, I don't get up and be like, I want.
So when did you start? So when did you hit fitness? So when you were at GNC is when you really got into fitness.
I really started getting into fitness after my father passed away because I remember
mental health.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend was like, we got to get out of this hospital. Like, we're there for like a week because my dad was, on the machine. And
so how did he pass away?
He had a heart attack and an aneurysm.
Oh, shit. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, it's, he would smoke cigarettes. He worked all the time, didn't sleep, stressed to the max. It was not healthy at all. So that was my goal. Was I started getting into fitness because obviously when the magazines I was reading, it was like the polar opposite of what I saw that happened to like my dad. So I these people they looked like they took care of themselves. So I'm like, I kind of dig this better, and I feel better. I started feeling better when I started like drinking protein shakes and like eating a salad from Subway. So it was the small steps at a young age that got me to where I was. And I started working out because, so we left the hospital and my sister's boyfriend dropped me off at Anytime Fitness over in D'Iberville next to Quickly's.
Yeah.
They had one in the corner. I had a membership there pretty much until they closed down. And I remember pumping out a workout after leaving the hospital, and I never had felt better. Like that was like my tipping point. Like there was no going back after that. Like
So it's either the gym or nothing at all.
yeah. And like, you know, and Kimberly knows this, like if I don't go to the gym at least 3 days a week, I'm not a good person to be around.
You're a fucking asshole.
Right. But
That's at least you're honest about it.
and you know this too, like everyone has their vices. Like
Yeah.
mine is I like going to the gym. I love stimulants, and that's just how I operate.
How in the hell, since you, okay, how now, I mean, you're here, now you've heard, I mean, bucked up.
Bucked up, yeah.
I'm wearing a hat right now, bucked
Yeah.
up. Ryan went to GNC, got connected in this whole GNC world, and then got his own product now this is his own product.
Yeah.
This is the mother of all pre-workouts, Mother Bucker. He has his own pre-workout now. How did this shit happen? Because how long has this been out for?
About 7 months. Yeah, creeping on 7-8 months.
And this is already a 7-figure product.
Yeah, there's 2 commas in that number, and
Holy shit!
you know, I got our rankings the other day, and we're like out of the top 100. So all the flavors are definitely in the top 100, and this is all in GNC's. Like Miami, which is their number 1 selling flavor, is like number I think 30 something, and we're going against like Chips Ahoy protein. We're going against heavy hitting.
How in the hell did you come up with this?
So
What was the process? Like, what made you come up with the formula and the ingredients? Why pre-workouts? How the hell did you meet? You have to know the owner of this place.
So Ryan Gardner and Jeff Gardner, they're twin brothers from Utah. They own the line. They started it with deer antler spray, which, if anyone knows that, it's basically IGF-1 spray, helps you recover quicker.
Yeah.
And it became really popular when Ray Lewis, during the Super Bowl time frame, he was with the Ravens. God, this was years ago. He had this tricep tear, and one of the ESPN analysts was like, "How did you recover so fast?" And he was like, "I took this deer antler spray," and the next day, GNC and all these brokers are calling him, and that's the only product he had at the time was deer antler spray. And it's like, how can you make so many that, like, I think it was 30,000 bottles within this like small time frame? And he called his guy. He's like, "I need you to make this like now." So he did. And so this is before pre-workouts.
Yeah.
They only had one product. It was just called deer antler spray. And this was like in, I think, 2016. It was still early, 2015, 2016. And then they were at a convention show, and a previous store owner went up to them. It was like, "Hey, y'all need to come out with a product called, or a pre-workout. Pre-workouts are a popular thing right now." And the owner at the time was like, "Well, come out with one and we'll help you. Like, we'll, fly you out, blah, blah, blah." So they come out with this product called Bucked Up. So that it goes into deer antler spray and then Bucked Up. And then here we are today. About, people don't know this. This was in the works for like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It takes a long time to come out with something like this, especially with the amount of volume. I believe when we launched this, we had like 60,000 tubs made. It was a lot. And, I mean, it took us a while to come out with it.
Now, but how'd you come up with the formula? Did you have like samples? How'd you fucking figure this shit out?
That too, but, so.
How did you get the juice inside the can?
So this is the backstory. For years, I was always helping a lot of brand owners, and I'm not going to name any brand owners, but I was helping brands come out with like products, and I was pitching flavors.
Your background's marketing, so you picked up on that shit quick.
Yeah, but Kimberly would make fun of me because I have all these like raw ingredients at my house. I'm just like, I wouldn't say I'm a chemist, but I like to compound stuff. I like to see what works for me. and I'll increase doses if it feels better.
Yeah.
I'll decrease things if it doesn't, So we go into that, and years flow by. I'm still at GNC. I'm just doing my thing, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm posting these Q&A stories like, "Hey, ask me a question," because I just like educating my viewers, my audience, kind of like you.
Yeah.
But I like to do it on the supplement side. And even though I don't have many followers, I maybe have like 1,300 followers. They're quality followers on Instagram.
You only need 1,000 true followers to conquer
And they're
anything.
true. They're not like paid, like,
No.
Out of the country, like spam accounts. Well, I'm posting about a story on this certain pre-workout, and I'm answering questions. I'm just being who I've always been. And the owner himself, he starts, responding to my stories. And he's like, "Oh, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah." And I kind of got responsive, and I'm like, "Yeah, it can work. You just need to do this and that." I was just kind of giving my 2 cents. And then I told him, I go, "You guys need to come out with something stronger than what you already have." And his response was, "Well, if they need something stronger, they need to take a stimulant break." And I bit back and I said, "Well, if I tell
Is this
him that,"
Ryan?
Ryan Gardner.
He sounds like is he a cool person?
He really
I don't
is.
even like
Okay,
Ryan now. Ryan, I don't even like you.
Ryan.
Jeez,
Okay,
Ryan.
so
You sound like an awesome guy, but now I don't like you.
So
I'm in the story. Sorry.
So here's like me. I'm like a peon. Here's Shad, hustler. Like, super successful GNCs. Ryan Gardner and Jeff are on their different level people. They are like,
Yeah, but it's okay for me not to like them.
They're
Keep going.
they're visionaries.
Okay.
And, that's how they started Bucked Up, the original pre-workout. They gave a previous franchise owner the opportunity to come out with something like that. He just stepped away from the company. But so he was telling me on Instagram, well, if they need something stronger, they need to take a break. And I said, well, unfortunately, when I tell them, my customer, that, they try something else out. So he did not like that. And he said, well, what do you think we should do? And I said, well, I can come up with a product for you guys. However,
That's balls, dude. Respect.
it was just one of those.
Yeah, respect.
Like, I have,
Yeah, respect.
yeah, I literally have,
That's no. You're
Yeah.
like, let's dab this up. That's awesome.
I'm like, I have nothing to lose. Like, it's really one of those, you read those motivational quotes that said, like, fuck it, you literally only have one. Sometimes
I'm a firm believer in throw that shit out. You throw it at the wall. I'd rather throw. I would say I run at 99% of, if I have an idea, I'm throwing that shit at the wall, and I'm gonna say how I feel, because I don't want to live with regret.
And that's the thing, is I have so many people, and that's why I really want to do this podcast. Not only because I knew, like, I always liked you as a person, but I want to get the story out there, because that question gets asked a lot now. When people find out, they're like, you came out with that product, and they're like, how did you do it? So I'm like, it's kind of a lengthy story when you think about it, but it really all came from just me toiling around for 12-ish years.
You're going back and forth with the owner of the company, and now you became friends.
Yeah, it's funny because he's one of the only CEOs of such a big company, widely known brand. They're, according to Spins data, they're the number one selling pre-workout right now.
Do you know the actual number of the what is it? It's the Mother. It's
Mother Pucker.
Mother Pucker. Do you know? Is it 9 million? Is it a 10 million in sales? Do you know that?
If I'm not mistaken, so
that's what I want to know. What do you think the sales have been on this? And you have to know, because you're
I know a couple of months ago it was like 6 or 7. So I would assume it's probably like 9 or 10.
over $7 million. This thing is sold
Easily. Yeah.
You remember that guy on TV, like, set it and forget it. You know what I'm talking about? That's that grill guy, the guy on the infomercials, where he'd be like, set it and forget it.
No, I don't.
He did rotisserie chickens. Anyways, this is pretty cool though, because you went in a back and forth Instagram match with the owner of Bucked Up, and now you created a product. You're from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and it's doing 7 million in sales, and you continue this day, and you're staying at GNC, and you've been operating and being a family man, and
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, I mean, you got to think though, Kimberly. I mean, it was bound to happen. He's making shit in the kitchen.
She actually is the one who told me. Because we were getting samples sent to my house, just like sketchy envelopes.
Yeah.
Like manila folders, bubbled up wrap stuff.
Yeah.
White powder. It has a Sharpie written all over it, like all the time.
Would you sign this for me though?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because I want to keep it in the studio because it's cool. It's a cool idea because of. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's fascinating because you took an idea in your head and you stood for something, and this is it.
And the reason why I came out with a product like that, something very strong, something different too. Yeah. And the reason why people like it, and the very important part is that they're rebuying it. You want residual you want customers to rebuy it. That's when it really works.
Yeah, it's got 400 milligrams of caffeine.
Well, anyone who is familiar with ingredients, it's got a lot of. It's called beta alanine. It's what makes you kind of itch. Well, it is make you itch. It's got double the dose of what you find in any pre-workout.
How's it do in in sex performance?
So it's got Rauwolfia. That's one of the second ingredients. It's 2 milligrams of it. It's actually kind of like an aphrodisiac.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it helps with sexual health. It comes from the family of yohimbe, which yohimbe is good for sexual health too. And it's got L-citrulline. L-citrulline helps with circulation.
Oh, okay.
And it's got another ingredient. It's called nitrosogene. That's another ingredient, helps with cognitive benefits, but it's really good for.
And how often do you think, this product right here, it's at 2 scoops, 3 scoops?
Just 1 scoop.
A day?
But I would highly advise half a scoop first time ever, taking it. Now, I know some people who are just stim junkies. They love, drinking energy drinks. They love stimulants. They will take a full scoop. But even 1 full scoop, it will,
Remember the Stimulus 8?
Stimulate?
Stronger?
It's stronger than Stimulate.
Oh, shit.
And it will make you feel like, I'm telling you, I have customers who.
Will it make me get a face tattoo, Ryan?
I mean, I can only imagine, especially with your energy, if you take that.
So right now, I might have to get. So right now, I had this last year had high blood pressure, got on my medical card. Now, I was telling you earlier, I've even cut out alcohol and been just focusing on, which is it's working. But I've been doing. I just introduced caffeine back in. Because I'm on this journey, so I've cut everything out, and I'm on this whole medical marijuana. Because I told you, if you're going to get the card, I have my disability. I want to see the benefits.
And
but I'll be introducing probably a quarter scoop.
And that's the thing is, I don't smoke. I really don't even drink either, but I do drink a lot of stimulants. I kind of like being in control. I'm just a weird person, and.
Are you the person that's in control of the Netflix picking the movie person?
I don't watch much TV either.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
you read?
I kind of do. I have a gratitude book. I like reading quotes. I just I mean, yeah, I guess you say I read, but not a lot. But I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, I get you fucking. Are you going to be coming out with more products? You said there's 6 flavors.
We have something planned for next year. It's I can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be big for the line. And going back to the product, why I created a product like this, I wanted to create a product that I knew that I could take that would hit me in the face because I'm a father. I have 3 kids, young kids too.
How long does it take for this shit to kick in?
Probably 5 minutes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's straight torque.
So you got it you've developed. So when you take your kid, I'm imagining you getting up in the mornings.
I wake up around 4:45.
Okay.
And now since we have a newborn, I'm definitely up at 4:30. But when I set him down, because he burps and whatnot, you set him back down for he usually sleeps till 9 or 10 after that. I slam it down with some creatine and then some hydration. And then I zoom to the gym. And I live next to the Y, so it's a 3-minute drive for me. By the time I hit the treadmill, it's probably 5:15. Kill a workout for about an hour and 10 minutes. Head home. Get my kids are waking up. And then my 6 and 8-year-old, I get them fed. They're sufficient enough. They know how to put their uniform on and everything. I get their lunch pack. I get them dropped off to school by like 7:30, 7:40. Head back to the house, shower, get my meals prepped, get all my supplements together, head out the door by like 8:20, 8:30. Store opens at 9. And then I do that like, like clockwork.
Have you ever gotten a fight in the store?
A fight in the store?
Yeah, like your GNC. Is anybody like trying to like on steroids coming in there and trying to like get in your face, and you're like, hey, dude, back up. And you're like, no, back up.
Not
and then all of a
really.
sudden you throw a pre-workout at them.
I'm a really likable guy. Even the most,
Ryan, come on, tell me you fought somebody in the store.
even the most, like, I deal with all types of characters.
Yeah.
I've dealt with Karens. I've dealt with people, like, I see every works of life. Homeless people come in and like they want me to drink, like they're like, here, take a shot.
What do you think about John Kinsel?
I like John.
Oh
Like,
shit,
he's
he's all right. I went to his drinks earlier.
yeah. John. What's crazy is I knew him even before he owned the liquor store. Like he's always just been a customer of ours. But, yeah, I know like his store, it does pretty well from what I'm seeing. But I mean, he pops in and out. He's everywhere though.
Do you ever do? Are you? I mean, you're more like you're into like lifestyle fitness.
Very.
So you're more into like a natural cut. You want to look good. You like.
I want to be healthy.
If you have like a 6-pack, but it doesn't have to be every day 6-pack.
Right.
Like
I'm a father figure.
Yeah. No, this is the dad bod. Okay.
I honestly, I just want to feel good, especially I know I have young kids, and by the time they're down, to sleep, I still have enough energy.
I just can't believe you, Ryan. It's cool that you got your own pre-workout. Do you feel like real quick what now in the last like since you came out this product? How do you feel that like now your energy of like getting fit and stuff? Now you've created your own product. Does it push you more to get fit?
What makes me more motivated not only is because I'm a role model for my kids, and a lot of my younger employees and people out of nowhere will like that I'll meet at conventions or whatnot. They'll come up to me and be like, you motivate me. And I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like when you think about it, like I'm starting to become a role model for people. Some people I don't even know. And then, like my employees, they tell me all the time now, they're like, I really look up to you. Like they say it like very genuinely too.
That's awesome. Then,
I know. And it's so crazy. Cause I'm like, I'm only 33 and I have these young guys just like, they literally look up to me. And they send me lengthy text messages.
Well, you get good at like even when I first met you, my mom's always said this. I believe in energy.
Right.
I don't have to know you, but I can feel your energy, and I can feel a negative energy. If I feel a negative energy, I'm out, motherfucker. That's the truth.
It's true. Energy is a big thing. Like
it's all about energy, and that's one thing you carry. And so I could see them because you do set example.
And that's the thing is. They make fun of me. Well, not they, but I'm the guy who I'm proudly taking out the trash all the time.
Yeah.
How
do you battle your dad's stuff still? Because did you ever close that chapter? You went straight to working out and didn't stop. I mean, how?
There's times that lately, and my wife will, she's a great supporter, but she knows like right now having a newborn, of course I miss my dad, but with moments like this, you wish you could share those moments with someone like, your dad.
Yeah.
So, but I look at it like this is, I'm a firm believer in things happening in your life for a certain reason. And I hate to say it, my father passed away at that age. He was obviously in my life long enough to teach me what I needed to be taught, but it taught me resilience. Like, honestly, it's going to take a lot to put me down. Like,
have you been doing any breathing? It's like this last year, this last 3 years, I've been battling with some depression with work-related shit. And it's been so amazing. But this December, I made a decision to start my own insurance agency and make changes, start my own podcast.
Yeah. It's all about moving forward.
Yeah, and I was battling serious depression. And I started doing the Breathe app. Kono got me on the app, but I've been doing a lot of meditation. That's been helping me with my temper. Like, that's been helping me, like, really. I meditate 30 minutes a day now.
I was in Vegas 2-3 months ago at a ingredient show, and one of the companies that I do some work with, The owner, Richard, gave me a gratitude book, and it was an empty book. It's like this thick, and it's just bullet points, and it just tells you, what are you grateful for today, and then you just date it, and then it gives you a daily quote, and it's already like halfway filled, and
I like it.
I start my day off with it. There's some days I forget to jot into it. I kind of have to fill it out all at nighttime, but I've been doing everything I can to fill that thing out by the time I wake up, and when I get home and put the kids down, I finish it out, and it's just a constant flow of it's how I talk to myself now, and I'm telling you, mentally, I'm like,
I think I'm doing similar with like this morning was it 28 degrees. I was out today. I did about 35 minutes cardio, but normally I do an hour and 15. First thing I get in the morning, drink about 12 ounces of water to 16, and I smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
And then I go do from my house, and I do an hour and 15 minutes of, and I right now I'm doing, and I just tell you how much I do audiobooks, but this book I'm doing right now, it's crazy I don't remember it. Let's see. Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. And it was a 7-hour book, and I'm an hour and 30 minutes left in it, but I'll put a book in, and then I'll go in and do the grateful stuff. Like I will get off the book, and for about 15, 20 minutes, I'll just think about, I'm grateful for Emily. I'm grateful for Oliver. I'm grateful for not my nonprofit. I'm grateful for my friends. And I just start really getting into, dude, I got a dope house, like, and that really does help me in the day. I never did that. I never really did that, though.
I literally used to compare myself to a lot of people. I would be like, why am I not like, I have a guy I went to school with at St. Patrick's. He was the Jonas Brothers, like, trainer. Like he lives in LA still, Matt Blank. Year younger than me. Like now he trains one of the WWE athletes. He has celebrities like that he trains. He trained the One Republic's lead singer at the Muscle Farm training facility.
Are y'all friends?
Yeah, he follows me, and like he likes.
Do you send him any products?
I do, but he can't post about it because he's sponsored by other people, and
that's cool. But you looked up to him.
A few years ago he came in town, and I met up with him, and of course I'm like, God, like how do I get in such a position like that? Like I used to compare myself a lot.
I did too,
and just especially with this, it's like I don't even care anymore. Like I'm just grateful. The book helps a lot too. And then I always think about how much I have compared to what other people don't have.
It's funny you said that about grateful. I was thinking about the other day because like I had to figure out what I wanted and really wanted in life, especially having a family. You're trying to figure out your career path. Like I'm pushing away from all my other business marketing stuff to focus strictly on insurance, and I have this game plan to. It's right across, like it's 1.6 miles away from my office, but my game plan is to have good customer service, which I've been doing that,
of course,
and then take the money and then put it back into my nonprofit. And just because I told him, like, she goes, "What do you want?" Like, I have my Ford Lightning. I have this cool man cave. I think I don't want anything else. Like I love Emily and I love Oliver. I have this family that's like, you can't ever really have a dull day. I mean, today Oliver's wearing Spider-Man.
I mean,
that's riches.
And those are precious moments you'll never get back.
Hell, dude, I was thinking about the other day. I was cuddling him last night because he gets in our bed about 3. He always makes it to our bed about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And dude, Emily said,
you'll miss it one day. Like sometimes I get like, not bitter, but I get frustrated. And my wife, Kimberly, will always point out, she goes, "You're going to miss that one day." And I'm like, God, you're completely right. Like, when it's quiet,
they're not going to like us at teenage years.
Yeah. When they're gone, like doing a task or like running errands and the house is so quiet, like I get like, not alone, but I get like anxious. I'm like, I'm so used to noise and I'm so used to like ruckus. It kind of calms me down now. It's just a weird thing.
So you moved into the Vietnamese culture, which I love karaoke. Are you good at karaoke?
I'm not, but if I drink enough, so I don't drink often, but
1738.
I mean, I had Don Julio at Christmas. Then was it 1942?
Yeah,
that's too much. And I mean, by the time I got to my
Were you
house,
dancing?
I get really, I would listen to listen to like Sade. Is it Sade? Sade or Sade? Sade. You know Sade?
Sade, no.
She sings Smooth Operator.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's just like that jazz vibe music, but yeah.
How many shots you talking about you got at Christmas? Like, were we talking 3 shots or are we talking 10?
Well, so this Casamigos right there, Shab will tell you I could really outdrink people on that. It's a weird thing. I don't drink often.
Are you an angry drunk?
No. I'm
That's awesome.
I'm so chill. And so when we launched this pre-workout, Kimberly threw me a launch party at the Yacht Club in Ocean Springs. She rented the downstairs, got food catered, had an open bar for the people who showed up, like all my neighbors, friends, Shad, Catherine. Dude, we ran up. Shad's like, did you see the tab? Because he helped pay for half of it. Because he was like, hey, it's like a gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, I want to.
What was it, 5K?
Dude, no. It was not that much, but
Yeah.
we only had a small amount of people there, and it ran up to almost $1,000. And we had 56 Casamigo shots on there. Like, we were just opening up bottles and just hammering
That's
down.
how, so me, Cal Wynn, Brian Bozeman, they own Collision Depot and Negotiate. Guys, if you need any body work, they've been in business 15 years. It's the one that's they got a koi fish moat in front of their shop.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's my boys. And we're all 3 of us are not drinking right now.
Yeah, nice.
And we're kind of, I don't know. I mean, I think you get in a situation where so many events, I came off of doing so many events this last year where I felt like I was burnt myself out. And I think I was burnt out. And I was like,
As we're getting older, too, it's harder to recover.
Oh, God, I know.
Because I went to my first Neptune ball last year at the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember is that our Uber driver had a disco ball in his van, and he had karaoke in there. And all I remember is singing T-Pain Bartender to my neighbor, Kimberly, and my neighbor's wife. And we ended up going to Waffle House in Ocean Springs in front of the Greyhound Stadium, and our Uber driver ate Waffle House with us. Like, that's how our night ended. Like, I got so messed up.
I had 3 years ago, I went to the ball, and me and Emily, and I went out till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Okay. And then the next morning I was hurting so bad. I went straight to we went straight to Half Shell, and I went to have Bloody Marys just to continue the ride. And the ball started at 6. I remember being in my tux with my Nikes on and being so hungover that I threw up in the trash can before I walked in. And Emily was standing right next to me, and I threw up. And it was like off the movies. And I just, trash can, threw up, didn't make a mess, threw up in the trash can. People looked at me. I was like, oh. And I was like, whew. Right when I opened the door, my buddy seen me, handed me a beer. So, that was a restart. But I remember that was the worst, when you talked about Neptune, I was thinking about the other day, that was the worst hangover. It took me 1 week.
To recover.
1 week. And now, it's nice. It's just been a nice adjustment. I think I'm going right now. I think I'm at a month.
No alcohol.
I'm getting close to a month. Yeah.
And do you feel better?
I mean, yeah, I feel great.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing is like, yeah, I feel great. But a lot of it has to do with, my transition to medical marijuana.
Yeah.
It's the way, like, I can get, like I was telling you, like, earlier, like, I have a weed strand that if there's any bickering or any thought of, like, overthinking at night, I could smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm watching, like, Idiocracy or some TV show or documentary. Or, I mean, normally, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's like food cooking shows.
Yeah.
Like these little endorphin kicks of
Honestly,
15-second cooking shows.
Kimberly will be like, what are you watching? I'm like watching someone make pho. Or like,
Do you like a dog broth or do you like a light broth?
I like kind of dark medium, which is like the beef broth.
How about jalapenos in it?
Oh, dude.
Okay.
I get made, like, Kimberly's like, you need to, like, lay low on the jalapenos. I'm like, no, all the way. Like,
I got, I'll give you some before you leave. I'll give you a box. I got habaneros.
really?
I grow my own habaneros.
Oh,
They're
really?
frozen right now in my deep freeze. I'll give them to you.
Oh, my God.
Dude,
So
I love habaneros.
I eat so many peppers. Like, I'm notorious for waking up in the middle of the night because my stomach is, like, eating itself up. Because I have so much acidity from the peppers that I eat at night, like, for dinner.
Oh, shit. Mine's not that bad.
Now, do you know the spicy food, it helps with your, like, it's actually helps with dopamine. Like, a lot of people love spicy food because it's kind of like this, makes it feel good.
No.
Yeah, I read this
Probably
book.
so then.
I read this book called Dopamine Nation, and outside of like shopping and like social media, spicy food is like one of the higher ranked dopamine like boosters.
Damn.
And that's why
That makes sense.
That's why a lot of people like love eating spicy food.
If you were, let's say, since I got you and we already kind of dived in to your show, but if let's say I'm just looking to get in, like, let's just perfect example of a person. Let's say I'm 30 years old. My wife just left me. For my best friend. Okay, just play the scenario out.
All right.
And I'm just battling depression. I got a kid that I get weekly on the weekends. I'm going through a lot. I've let myself go for the last 10 years while she took care of herself. How should someone start? Should they automatically start jumping on supplements? Should they start just in hardcore exercises? Where should a person start to get on this journey? Because I'm not a big believer in the 90-day, 6 months.
Or like the 75 hard.
It's a lifestyle thing. Like right now, I'm down 13 pounds, and I'm doing this lifestyle change. I'm not doing the 90-day look at me. I did the 90-day look at me, and I didn't keep it on. You
get burnt out.
Yeah, I don't want to get burnt. Like this is lifestyle. Where's a person like that has like wants to look better, feel better? Where do they start?
I personally recommend is start off with, obviously, just resistance training, like working out, like with weights.
That's light or heavy?
Moderate enough to where like you're exerting yourself.
Okay.
To where like sometimes you're gonna fatigue yourself out. Like you can actually burn a lot of fat by lifting heavy. I did a cut with one of our old employees, John Paul. He opened up a like private training studio in Ocean Springs.
You can plug a studio. What's the name of the studio?
It's Limitless Strength. So he ended up moving up north because his now fiance, she's an engineer, and she's doing like her residency up there. He still trains some clients down here, but he ended up selling his gym. But I did, a cut with him, and I only went to the gym 3 days a week. I barely did any cardio, believe it or not. And I just lifted heavy ass weight. He had me do like heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, heavy bench press. But I also was fasting. So I didn't even eat till like 1 o'clock most days, stopped eating at like 9. So I would maybe eat like right at 2,000 calories during that time frame I was able to eat. Most of my meals were like high protein though.
Yeah.
And like I was getting so lean. My wife's parents were asking if I was like sick. Like they thought I had kind of like cancer because my jawline was starting to pull in. I was starting to get like super vascular, and I was getting like I had no body fat on me. It was, but I'm not gonna lie, aesthetically I looked healthy, but I was not sleeping good. Your drive goes down because you have no like you kind of need some fat.
Yeah.
But how do you get started? Resistance training. I would recommend some type of like protein like supplement because ideally that's what we don't get enough in our diet, in the American diet, is protein. Anywhere you go, it's usually carbs or higher fat or like processed. Not many restaurants are giving you like a lean big portion of meat and then like veggies or whatnot because it's expensive. Like meat is expensive, fish is expensive.
Yeah.
Chicken is expensive now. Eggs, milk.
I just left Target, dude. It's fucking outrageous.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
I go with
I bought Emily some underwear.
I go with the intention of buying like coffee pods for the Nespresso.
Yeah.
I walk out with a gallon of Horizon milk. That's like $9 now. A gallon of Horizon milk is $9.
Now, what is Horizon milk?
It's just like this organic milk that like it tastes so good. It's if you're I wouldn't say a connoisseur, but if you tasted good milk, that's a good milk.
Okay, I might try it one day. I heard milk's bad for you though, so I don't really try it anymore. Now, listen, I mean, if it's on social media, I trust everything.
That's the thing is we've kind of got towards this. We veered towards everyone needs to go like plant based and avoid like whole eggs and like meat and milk, but in reality,
Do you think I listen to any of them fucking people? Are you serious?
A lot of people do it.
I don't listen to them.
I go back to the basics. If you're gonna use butter, just use real, like, I use grass-fed butter, like real butter.
Okay.
If I eat eggs, I'm asking for the whole egg. Like, and I want some. I buy these cage-free eggs from like Rouse's. They're expensive too. They're like $7 or $8 for a dozen, and the yolk is like almost the color of that hat you're wearing. It is like orange.
Oh no, my grandma had a farm. I had my own chickens.
Yeah, so
I grew up till about when I was like 12. That's when I discovered eggs wasn't white.
And we've gone away from that because guess what?
Oh, we still get farmed eggs here.
Well,
I ain't doing that shit.
I'm talking about like when we go grocery
Oh,
shopping.
yeah.
Everyone shops off price now, so they gotta go like store label, like Great Value, which is nothing wrong with the Great Value equate. I use that a lot too, but a lot of brands are starting to like play with the quality and pull back to make more money.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Is
I started seeing it too. They've been pulling back on like ounces. You ever see the new packages?
servings are going
You
down.
lose 4 ounces, the same price. Like they just make their packaging look better.
Servings are going down on everything.
What do you think about pyramid schemes? Like like you got Life Advantage. You got a lot of these companies out there.
They have their timeline. Like, I mean, do you remember?
I'm not saying I don't know if it's a pyramid scheme. I call Mary Kay a pyramid scheme. I know friends that they're in Life Advantage, but like it's one of them. Like you sign up for $1,000 and you got to get this person signed up.
Because I know a lot of the supplemental pyramid schemes, like the MLMs. Like back then, there used to be one called It Works, and it was basically just like a waist trimmer.
I signed up for that shit.
Yeah,
it was my buddy's wife, and she was like, and I just did it for her.
And you have like the back of your SUV had the sticker. Like,
yeah.
I mean, look where they're at now. Like, they don't exist.
I even put that shit around my stomach.
Do you remember? It was called Advocare. I remember when I started doing CrossFit. When this was before we moved off to Louisiana. It was the year I stayed home from college, still working for Shad, and the CrossFit gym owner was pushing it like hardcore. Like it was all wrapped around her car and everything, and all it was like really basic supplements, like nothing crazy. But they had the people pushing it hard down their throat, and because they made a commission off of it.
I mean, you could do the same shit with your product. You could push a street team.
Well, here's the thing.
Bucked Up did it. Bucked Up was known for samples, and they did great marketing.
And they still do.
Yeah, and you get a sample of shirts.
Yeah, it's a
look at this hat I'm wearing.
Sampler pack.
Even though I don't like Ryan at all, even though I don't like that dude, I'm still wearing his hat.
That guy. There's like a lot of people when they think of him, they're like he's a jackass probably. Yeah. I'm telling you, he is probably one of the nicest guys that I know. But if you get on his bad side, you don't want to cross that. But he's the most responsive person that I know. Like, I'm more likely to get a text from him than one of my employees. He responds like that.
Yeah. Another one like that, too, is Spinner.
Ivan.
Oh, Ivan is a fucking pit bull.
So when
I can text him right now, and I guarantee you text Ivan right now, and they fucking, hey, what's up, man? You need something?
And look where he's at today.
Yeah, no, he already told him that's his that's his thing is like his responses. And he probably eats this fucking shit. He probably takes the shit.
When I
shit's a good word here.
So when I formulated this,
yeah,
he was out of the country with his family doing some type of like volunteer work. He was helping build like for his church. He was out in another country. He's calling me. He's like, hey, and I'm like, hey Ryan, what's up? Like I'm all frantic because I'm like, he's of stature. He's like, we need to get this formula down. Like we got to submit it, get it approved and whatnot because GNC wants to know like for Q1 or Q2, like we got to get everything submitted. And I'm like, okay, like I'll get it sent off to you. Like I already had it in my notes. When I have ideas, I always jot it down on my notes. It's so funny because like I have random notes. I have recipe for a sack of crawfish, and then I have Mother Bucker formula right above it. It's like a random shit.
How'd you come up with the name?
So
and what does it mean?
I wanted to call it Buck Wild.
Yeah.
And then we just kept going back and forth. Believe it or not, we came out with the formula. We finalized the formula and the flavors and everything before we even came up with the name. That came last. We were more worried about the product itself than everything, like the marketing. And what's funny, So a lot of people build products wanting to make as much money as they can. Like they talk about, oh, this is going to cost me so much money. Let's put less ingredients in it. Or this ingredient's cheaper. Let me put more of it in there.
Yeah. I mean, cutting costs. Like once you get a product out and you get you see this a lot. I hope you don't do it with your company, but you start making a product and then you try to really start cutting costs because now you got an audience.
We never once talked about money on that. Not once. I literally submitted. So I sent them an original formula, and I knew in my head it wasn't going to taste good because I've played with the 2 ingredients that were going to be in there. It's called dynamine and teacrine. They're derivatives of caffeine, and they taste like crushed up Benadryl. Like you cannot mask it. It doesn't matter how much sweeteners you put in there, but it works. Like gamers use it. It gives you a really fast reaction time, and then it also doesn't cause a crash. So I submitted that. We tried the packets he sent me from his manufacturer. Well, it did not taste good. Worked well, but I knew in my heart, I'm like, not many people are going to like this. So I went back to the drawing book. And then we even did a survey on the Bucked Up Ambassador page. It's a private Facebook group, but there's thousands of people on there, like thousands. And we surveyed. We're like, hey, if we put this much of this ingredient, would you guys buy it? And everyone's like, hell yeah, like, of course. So I changed up, and the second time I submitted something, I'm like, this is going to be the winner. Like, I knew it for a fact. And he sent me the samples to that. Like, a couple weeks later, I tried it, and it hit me even harder than the first batch. And it tasted way better. So I'm like, this is the winner. And in my heart, I'm like, I knew this product was going to do well. I did not think it was going to do this well.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting over $7 million in sales.
You know what's funny is just tells you how much of a savage Ryan Gardner is. There was a product that launched before this, kind of had a similar formula behind it. I saw it, and I like my stomach dropped. Like I got nervous because I was like, man, if this product comes to market and people get their hands on it first, I don't think people are going to buy like this pre-workout. You know what his response was? He wasn't even worried. He says, we're going to crush it. That was his reply. And I didn't hear from him for like a week after that. And, look at them now. It's so crazy to even think that
Have you went to other businesses besides GNC and seen your stuff on the shelves?
I went to a vitamin shop. It's in Vitamin Shop. So it's in every single GNC nationwide. There's over 2,200 stores nationwide. It's in every single store. It's in every single vitamin shop. I think there's 600 or 700 stores. It's in every single mom and pop, like brick and mortar supplement store. But one thing I will say, our goal was never really to go mainstream with it. And when I mean mainstream, you think of like Sam's Club or Walmart. And the reason why is because I wanted to create a product that would send customers into like stores like Shad stores, like specialty stores. We're specialty retail. That's what we call ourselves. I wanted to do that because his other products like Bucked Up and Woke AF, they're found in every Walmart nationwide. They're in the, I wanted to create a product that would send customers back into GNCs. So that's why I feel like we created such an impact, is because when one customer buys this, chances are they're going to come buy it again. On average, a lot of customers don't even know I created this product. It's very humbling because, I'm in the store most days that I have a customer come in and they're just grabbing off the shelf because they like loved it that much. And on average, we probably sell like 4 to 5 tubs per day, add that up out of 7 days.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's just one store.
So, I mean, you're Vietnamese,
right?
Is this rare for a Vietnamese person to have their own pre-workout? And it's just like, look,
I guess.
I'm from the coast. Which I love the Vietnamese culture. Best food around. Best
For
food.
sure.
Yeah, best food. But that's got to be, how many Vietnamese are in the fitness world creating their own pre-workouts?
You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Shit.
Um,
most people, like I'm saying, it's It's just like here in Mississippi. This is all my friends. They're into insurance, Vietnamese. They're into nail salons, liquor stores,
gas stations,
shrimp boats, or dealers. Mm-hmm. And that's the culture. I mean, you grew up with them, good people, amazing people. They got your back. But it's crazy to see, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to fucking make a pre-workout and get in the fitness world.
And I guess why some customers or even my employees, they like look up to me is because I just kind of veered off and did something different than what most standard people kind of expect us to do. Because you're right, that is something that most people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm surprised. Like my friends, they're like, I'm surprised you don't open up a liquor store or something like that, or run a nail salon, which there's great money in it.
Yeah, hell, look, like I said, like Kimberly's sisters, and I mean family have fucking figured out how to be sustainable on the coast through, with service business. Mm-hmm. It's just fascinating because like I really don't. I mean, how many Vietnamese fitness? I mean, what would you call yourself? I mean, entrepreneur, but I mean, what would you call your title? I mean, because you're not on steroids,
right?
And you're not, and you. I mean, do you ever compete?
Not really. I tried dieting. Like I was going to try to compete.
Yeah,
but
you got too many kids, dude.
Well, this is whenever I just had my my daughter, and she was young. Dude, that shit's expensive. Like I was paying my coach like $200 a month. That's not including the food, and then still having to buy like other stuff like supplements. Like you had to buy board shorts. I'm like, literally, I see why people go broke doing this. You have to be well established, like older doing it, or you have to be like young, still living with.
Do you
have
parents. A minivan?
I don't. I just have that Tacoma.
You see my minivan?
I did.
You see my Toyota Sienna?
I really wanted to get a minivan for Kimberly. Need it. And Kim was like, I'm not driving a van.
Kimberly, you need a minivan. I'm telling you, all the doors open. I hit a button, and I get captain chairs in there.
I drove a rental minivan.
It's got to be a Toyota.
And it was a Toyota.
Shout out to Direct Auto. That's where I get all my stuff. You need any cars, you go to see Mike Wiz.
And, dude, if I could, a van that's what I would get. But
how could people find you? Where's your handles at? We're going to wrap this up. Would you come on in the future?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how do people find you on Instagram?
You type my name in, Ryan DeoCampo, and then the Instagram name is Mr. Mr. DeoCampo.
Okay.
You can find me on Facebook.
And if you have any questions, message Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like and share this podcast. That it really does help. But honestly, if you have any serious questions, reach out to Ryan. He's going to answer your questions.
I'm very responsive. Like that's what I'm pretty well known for. I will say, like a couple of years ago, I took a little hiatus from like Facebook because I needed to focus on the product and kind of get my mind right. But outside of that, I'm clearly on social media, super responsive. You're probably gonna get a response from me in less than like a few hours, if anything. Well,
guys, you can hit them up, and then we're gonna make a thumbnail real quick, Ryan. Let's get in here and make a thumbnail. This right here, just get up in here. Thumbnail time. This is your product, dude. That's sick. You got a product. The Jordan Duron Podcast.